सफीर पाकिस्तान, आपके जज्बों का तर्जुमान। वतन से दूर, वतन की आवाज और आपकी पहचान, सफीर पाकिस्तान। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, आपका मेज़बान वक़ार अली ख़ान प्रोग्राम सफीर पाकिस्तान के साथ हाजिर खिदमत है। कहिए कैसे मिजाज हैं? मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप सफीर पाकिस्तान पाबंदी से, मोहब्बत से, प्यार से देख रहे होंगे और दूसरों को देखने की तलकीन भी कर रहे होंगे। सफीर पाकिस्तान की अवार्ड नाइट ज़ोर शोर से जारी है। बहुत ही हसीन और ख़ूबसूरत, यूनिक, सकाफत बेस, अपनी हमारी कल्चर के मुताबिक हमें प्रोग्राम पेश कर रहे हैं जो आपने कभी देखा नहीं होगा। इट्स गोना बी द स्टेट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम वी आर प्रेजेंटिंग। वर्ल्ड क्लास म्यूजिशियन इज पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन दिस प्रोग्राम। इट्स गोना बी अ ब्लास्ट। इसके अलावा ऑफ कोर्स यू विल मीट द वेरी वेरी सक्सेसफुल पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन जिन्होंने अमेरिका में अपनी कामयाबी के झंडे गाड़ दिए। वो पाकिस्तान से आए और बाम उरूज पर पहुंचे, लेकिन डेफिनेटली उनको कोई रिकग्नाइज करने वाला तो हो, उनको कोई दिखाने वाला तो हो। वो है आपका प्रोग्राम सफीर पाकिस्तान। तो आइए देखते हैं कि सफीर पाकिस्तान में क्या हो रहा है। लेट्स सी सम हाइलाइट्स ऑफ सफीर पाकिस्तान अवार्ड नाइट डैलस 2012 मई 19 DFW मैरियट होटल। मालूमात के लिए ऑफ कोर्स वहाँ की टीम से राब्ता कायम करें या सफीर पाकिस्तान को आप ईमेल करें। टिकट ऑफ कोर्स बाय टिकट है ये और बाय इनविटेशन ओनली। नाज़रीन, जैसा आप जानते हैं कि पिछले हफ्ते आपने देखा दोगाना का रीट्रीट प्रोग्राम सफीर पाकिस्तान के बैनर तले इसको हमने स्पॉन्सर किया था। कंप्लीटली दिस प्रोग्राम इज स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय सफीर पाकिस्तान और ये डिबेट भी सफीर पाकिस्तान ने स्पॉन्सर किया है आपके लिए और आप तक लाने में ऑफ कोर्स सफीर पाकिस्तान का ही तावन शामिल है। ये जो डिबेट इन्होंने किया है, वाकई मैं दोगाना की टीम को, दोगाना के मेम्बरान को, उनके अलमनाई को सलूट करता हूँ, क्योंकि होगा क्या डिबेट से सदेबाब होगा। ग्रोही सियासत का, ग्रुपिंग का, सूबा परस्ती का, चौहदराट का, वडेराशिप का, ये सब ख़त्म हो जाएंगे। क्योंकि जब कैंडिडेट सामने आएंगे, कैंडिडेट अपने डिलीवरी देंगे अपने प्रोग्राम की, अपना कॉन्सेप्ट बताएंगे, अपना एजेंडा बताएंगे, अपना प्रोग्राम बताएंगे, उससे सारी चीज़ वाज़ेह हो जाएंगी। एक खुली किताब की तरह होंगे तमाम कैंडिडेट और तमाम कैंडिडेट को बराबर का मौका मिलेगा। ठीक है, और मैं समझता हूँ कि ये एक बेहतरीन इनिशिएटिव था दोगाना का। ये एक बेहतरीन आइडिया था, बेहतरीन कॉन्सेप्ट था कि जमहूरी अंदाज में मौका दिया जाए तमाम कैंडिडेट को बात करने का और अपने ख्याल का इजहार करने का, और उससे आपका अंदाज़ा होगा कि कौन सा कैंडिडेट किस रेटिंग पे, किस स्टेज पे खड़ा है और आप किसको सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। आप अपना जहन बना सकते हैं। नाज़रीन, मेरे आपसे दरख्वास्त है कि जब आप वोट दें, जब अपने कैंडिडेट को सिलेक्ट करें, ठोक बजा के देख लें कि कौन सा कैंडिडेट कहाँ से आ रहा है। कोई किसी के कांधे पे बैठ के आ रहा है, कोई मेरिट पे आ रहा है, कैसे आ रहा है, उसको आपने एनालाइज करना है। फैसला आपका है। सफीर पाकिस्तान कभी नहीं कहेगा कि आप किसको वोट दें, वोट आपने देना है। लेकिन हम इलेक्शन को आखिरी हद तक प्रमोट करेंगे एज ए सफीर पाकिस्तान। ये बड़ा प्रोग्राम है, जियो पे चलने वाला ये वाइड प्रोग्राम है जिसको सबसे ज़्यादा देखा जाता है। तो नाज़रीन, आइए आपको लिए चलते हैं फर्स्ट एवर प्रेसिडेंशियल कैंडिडेट ऑफ अपना कैंडिडेट। मुलाहिजा फरमाइए ये रिपोर्ट।
The Dawites now will have a choice.
The purpose of the debate is to get the thought process of the people who are aspiring to lead the organization.
The questions were very, very pointed.
It was a good initiative. It is done very professionally.
Now the membership will be in a better position to choose.
Hopefully it will be a wiser election this year.
On May 6th, DIL Los Angeles will have its 4th annual Walk to Educate. Join the community to support education in Pakistan. We will have delicious food featuring gourmet grill masters, games, activities, and face painting for the kids, as well as a prize raffle. This event will be fun for the whole family. Please support the dreams of DIL students by attending and donating generously. DIL Los Angeles Walk to Educate, Sunday, May 6th at Mason Park in Irvine. Visit us at dil.org for more info and tickets.
American Muslim Women's Empowerment Council invites you to their second American Muslim Women Conference on Sunday, April 29 at 10 a.m. at Knott's Farm Hotel. Attend this very informative session with your friends and family. Please register today at amwec.com. All registered attendees will be provided a complimentary lunch. Parking is free.
वो लम्हा आप पहुंचा है जिसका आपको इंतजार था।
सोहना तू दिल दा करार जानिया
उस्ताद दिलशाद खान, प्राइड ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस अवार्ड विनर, वायलिनिस्ट। सब कुछ DFW मैरियट होटल, ब्रोथ हफ्ता मई 19, 2012। हमें आपका इंतजार रहेगा। वो लम्हा आ पहुंचा है जिसका आप सबको इंतजार था। सफीर पाकिस्तान अवार्ड नाइट 2012।
गल करनी ओ अस तेरी गल करनी ये डैडी नाल गस तेरी गल करनी ये डैडी नाल गस तेरी गल करनी ये डैडी नाल गस तेरी गल करनी ओ
Safir Pakistan Award Night 2012, a night of success. गीत संगीत का संगम, अपनी सखाफत. अपना ही अंदाज.
अगर तुम मिल जाओ जमाना छोड़ देंगे हम अगर तुम मिल जाओ जमाना छोड़ देंगे हम तुम्हें पाकर जमाने भर से रिश्ता तोड़ देंगे हम अगर तुम मिल जाओ जमाना.
The Dawites now will have a choice.
The purpose of the debate is to get the thought process of the people who are aspiring to lead the organization.
The questions were very, very pointed.
It was a good initiative. It is done very professionally.
Now the membership will be in a better position to choose.
Hopefully it will be a wiser election this year.
नाज़रीन, अमेरिका में डॉक्टरों की तंजीम अपना के इलेक्शन जोर शोर से जारी है. ओरलैंडो फ्लोरिडा में होने वाली तकरीब जो दोगाना डॉ मेडिकल कॉलेज के फारिगुल तहसील तलबा ने मुनक़द की थी, हर तरह से कामयाब रही. इस तकरीब की खुसूसी बात ये थी कि अपना डॉक्टरों की तंजीम की तारीख में पहली बार सदारती मुबाहिसा कराया गया ताकि मेंबरान नहायत आला और बेहतरीन क़यादत का चुनाव कर सकें. ग्रोही सियासत, राइट और लेफ्ट विंग और ग्रुपिंग का सदेबाप किया जाए और हर सदारती उम्मीदवार को इस बात का पूरा हक दिया जाए कि वो अपनी पॉलिसी और अपने एजेंडे से मेंबरान को आगाह करे. सदारती मुबाहिसा हाथों हाथ लिया गया और ये पहली कोशिश दोगाना ने की जो निहायत कामयाबी से हमकिनार हुई.
I want to introduce our moderators, Dr. Muslim Jami, Dr. Jamil Farooqi, to have this unique idea of even having a debate like this. Most of the time it's kind of difficult when the campaign starts for the members of APNA to know the presidential candidates. But I would say this is a vision of this individual. I'd like to introduce Dr. Talha Siddiqui.
This is the first APNA debate as far as the presidential candidates are concerned, and it's been done by Dugana. Dugana was also the first alumni to introduce social forum in APNA, and now we have introduced this APNA debate. I hope it will continue. I hope it will be fruitful. I want to welcome Dr. Saima Zafar, President of APNA.
Again, this is the first event of its type being held by any APNA affiliate, and I'm really excited to be here. Just a few tips, if they might be considered by the candidates, is that we are all very passionate about APNA. We all want to do the best for APNA because it carries the name of Pakistan with it, and we want to attach pride to that name. So let's build each other up, but not tear each other down. Let's be good to ourselves because this will help build our organization and make it greater. We have a world ahead of us that we can conquer with our goodness and with our qualities, and each one of us is filled with tremendous qualities. So please, let's focus on that, and best of luck.
So my first guest would be Dr. Asad Qamar, who is a life member of APNA. He is also life member of APNA Florida chapter, life member of MCANA, and past president of MCANA. He was co-chair host committee of APNA summer meeting in 2007. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Asad Qamar. Dr. Asif Rahman, who is secretary of Central APNA 2012. He was the treasurer of Central APNA 2011. He was the president of APNA New York chapter 2009 and president of Association of Cardiology Association of APNA. And he's a chair of Bylaws and Constitution Committee. Dr. Parvez Iqbal, who is young physician liaison for New York chapter, chairman of annual Brooklyn meeting for last 3 years, chairman of the Health Fair New York for 2010, and counselor for MCANA. So he's chaired several different meetings, so I would call upon him to come and join us on the stage.
Without any delay, let me tell you about the rules of today's engagement. And let me remind you that these rules are meant to follow, not to break. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to respond to a question. Please stop when your time is up or when you're asked to do so. Please respond to a question when you are asked to do so. Questions may be directed to a particular candidate or a journal to all to respond to it. No cross-talks or cross-questioning among the candidates. If you want to make a point, please address the moderators. Without any delay, we will start the discussion. We will be asking questions from here, but as I am already standing here, let me start with the first question. The question is, there are about 10,000 Pakistani physicians in USA, and that's what we heard today when Dr. Iqbal was giving a presentation with the Congresswoman. There are only approximately 1,000 life members. There may be 2,500 participants in annual summer meetings, but they are not actually the members. They come and they go. Sometimes they stay here for a year, sometimes for longer. Out of these 1,000 life members, more than 70% are the graduates of 60s, 70s, and 80s. And less than 30% are the graduates of 90s and 2000. Do you think this is a viable organization or this is a dying organization?
I think it's a critical question, and APNA is at a critical juncture. I would answer your question by saying that APNA is definitely threatened right now, the threat of extinction. We do not have fresh blood coming in. We do not have new people coming in. We don't have youngsters coming in because they do not see APNA as an organization where their dreams, aspirations, and ambitions carry any weight, and an organization that does not tend to their needs in future. I think we need to reach out to the youngsters. Otherwise, we certainly are at a threat of extinction. And when we talk about it, we should also talk about the second generation, our generation, perhaps going to the schools within the United States. And if you look at the numbers or the percentage of the people joining APNA, the numbers are absolutely dismal. I do not believe that we actually can come up with a single person born here in the United States who has gone to a medical school within the United States who is now an active participant, because they do believe that we, the people who have come from Pakistan, are not willing to give them a chance. And that certainly needs to change. Thank you.
I would actually reference one of Dr. Asad Qamar's recent interview in Pakistan News, where he asserted that APNA is divided into left and right Qabza Mafia group. So what I would like to know from all the contestants, not only from you, but all the contestants, that is that kind of position where you take and project this image outside, is it, number one, helpful for APNA? If what kind of benefit does APNA get it, or is it a right forum?
APNA historically has been under the influence of establishment. And then with the passage of time, there has been physicians who were very independent-minded. They felt that an establishment imposes a candidate, it brings a candidate, endorses a candidate, and then everybody is asked and forced to follow that candidate and accept that candidate. And many physicians from a very, very diverse political affiliation, very diverse religious and social affiliations, very different alumni, they came to this agreement that they have to oppose this idea of a candidate of an establishment. And that created a group called Independent-Minded Physicians. And so now, as I see today, there are two polarizing groups in APNA. One is the establishment, and one who oppose it.
That's what happens. People disagree, and I think that we should be mature enough to agree to disagree. And I respect Asad, and I think there is a freedom of speech that people should say what they feel. But believe it or not, that APNA is the only one organization of Pakistani diaspora which is such big numbers, which can be very influential and which can really play a very active and good role in physicians here as well as community here. I think that we, as any big family, can have a lot of issues. Like any big family, they can disagree, but whatever happens in this room, whatever happens in APNA, I think it is better that we should deal ourselves rather than out, because what happens that then these things get flared up, there are people feed into that, and then it becomes damage which is not controllable.
Truth is bitter. Certainly, it wasn't mean-spirited. I think that APNA needs reform. We talk about media as if media is the criminal here. I think we can positively exploit media and gain a lot from media, and we can certainly reserve that for another question. There's no question about the fact that there are rightists in APNA. There's no question about the fact there are leftists. I don't like the word progressive being tied to the leftists because it almost seems as if the rightists are not progressive. I think a rightist can be progressive, a leftist can be progressive, and they certainly can stay rightist or leftist as long as their actions in a group or a mob mentality do not affect the organization or working of APNA. And when I use the term mafia, that is what has been happening and what is actually happening right under our very noses. So I thought that there should be some discussion regarding this. Now, on the E-list, I have been words like horrendous and terrible and, all sorts of other egregious words have been used. We do not have the tolerance, we do not have the ideology or mentality of sitting down and discussing difficult things. So what happens is that people just fly off the handle. So I did not respond to those things on the E-list because I thought that it was not going to lead to anything good. But a statement was made, and I almost chuckled at it. It said that I had insulted the 3,000 physicians of APNA by actually pointing it out that they were divided into two groups. Whereas I think that it is an insult to the 3,000 physicians by not actually having a discussion about the problems that we are having. So I think that was the mentality behind my statement. Thank you. Something like 9/11 occurs and I'm the president of APNA. We'll need to do two tangible, clear-cut things because in all misery there is opportunity. And so it will be our second opportunity to do it right this time. So one, we must allocate tangible resources for that suffering. We should have physicians on the ground. They should have APNA written all over them so that it is very visible. We should allocate financial resources to that disaster. We should be very, very visible. Number two, and again, I'm repeating myself, this is the positive exploitation of the media. We basically need to make a barrage of statements strongly denouncing and condemning violence and extremism, again, not as a political issue, but as a medical ethical issue, and promote sanctity of human life. Thank you.
And God forbid that day doesn't come. But, you know, in the, certain times impossibilities happen, and the things we consider should not happen, unfortunately, happen. So if I am the president of APNA at that time, I have the responsibility of physicians, as well as our community of our region at large, if I may like to extend my responsibility, to make sure that in the retaliation of that, they do not suffer. Because I'm sure, just like the first 9/11, none of the APNA members or the decent members of our society or anybody from the Pakistani origin was involved.
Should never happen, but if you hear what on the media and intelligence agencies say that it will happen, and let's hope it will never happen. But I think APNA has such an important role to play, not for only specifically that purpose. I think since September 11, our image as ethnic and our religion is so much tainted that it is hurting us. So I think APNA can play such an important role. It can important foundation by letting local community and everybody know that what APNA has been doing.
What is your opinion about the APNA election process? You know, where candidates spend a lot of money and time. You know, is this process, number one, worth it? Somebody actually asked from the floor that whether this election process should be every 2 years instead of every 1 year. And I really want to ask this on a core level, on a personal level from you. What is your motivation to spend this much time and effort on this election process? What is it that you have in your mind? What do you want to get out from it?
I think everybody is in this opinion that this is too short of a period and that this should be like 2 years or 3 years. But like anything in APNA, it's a constitutional thing. You have to have a constitutional amendment. And I think after this election is over, there should be a constitutional amendment that the officer should be for 2 years. And the timing of the election should be also changed to the later, because everybody is hung over on election before summer meeting. It should go to the fall, which is already in the process of one of the constitution in 2 years, but after this election is over. That's number one. Second thing, what you were saying, that why I've been doing this, it's almost like more than 10 years I've been involved with APNA from my chapter level, from counselor to the leadership chapter level, my alumni in cardiology, then central APNA, serving in several committees, and then got into election process as a treasurer and secretary, and now I think I am. It just makes a common sense that if I have invested that much time to do it. But I really believe that given the responsibility, given the opportunity, that you can make a difference.
One thing we all agree, probably when we are traveling throughout the states, everybody agrees that there has to be an election reforms. What kind of reform there should be? Whether we should make it for 2 years instead of 1 year. That's a little more complex answer. Somebody who is volunteer for 1 year, then he's asked to take a second year when the life is busy and he's doing a professional person, he's a doctor, he's doing. So I don't know whether that's a great idea or not. But certainly what is the need of the time, the election process has to be simplified in the form like it's a time and day of media and electronic media. We should arrange the elections in a way that the candidates should be able to meet large number of population, our physician community,
You asked as to what there is in being the president of APNA and what would motivate one to take on this arduous task of doing the campaigning and then running the organization for a year. There's no personal glory, there is no monetary reward. And I believe that two gentlemen sitting on my right-hand side obviously would agree with the fact that they are here because they want to do something good for APNA. And I think that I can do something good for APNA. And each one of us believes that we can do a better job. If we didn't think like that, we obviously would not be here. I do believe that the president of APNA should be there for at least 2 years. The person who's going to make the change in the bylaws will have to sacrifice. And I love giving this example because in this I'm again the president of APNA. So if I'm the president of APNA, I would certainly want the next president to have a tenure of 2 years. And will certainly have to state that I will only be there for a year, because if you want to be there for 2 years, obviously that's not going to ever happen because people will think that you're doing it for yourself. There is time spent, there is money spent, but at the same time, like Asif said, I would agree with him. I got to meet a lot of people that I had not met before. And it's interesting. I think the general APNA membership is extremely intelligent, much more intelligent than the people who have been running APNA. I must say, they have phenomenal ideas when you talk to them and you ask them, what would you like to see happen? They can really make you think. So in the end, I would say that you need to all of us need to make a situation where it is easier to access the membership. There are such practical hurdles to run this campaign, which should be made easier so that people in the end get to know the candidates that they are voting for. Thank you.
What is APNA's contribution in the profession in USA? What APNA contribution is in research? Did we own any project in research? Did we come up and sponsor any scholarships?
We call ourselves a professional organization. We don't want to be considered a social club. And therefore, what we do, we hold a CME. And in that CME, people come and they talk to us. 10% of us register in the CME. And during those CME meetings, we often take long breaks and basically devour a lot of stuff in the back of the room and chit-chat, and that's the end of it. We certainly need to put a new face on APNA as far as the professional workings of APNA are concerned. And there has to be, without a doubt, a scholarship. And I would certainly say that scholarship should be open to everybody, not just people of certain ethnicity. But beyond that, I think that we need to sponsor research in the United States. We need to make it highly visible.
I will be a little bit optimistic. I will not say absolutely no. I think APNA, probably at the organizational level, maybe not to the extent which we expect, but there is little has been done. That might be on an individual basis. Young physician, several co-chairs, including one is now in Colombia, and he has tried to bring a lot of Pakistani young physicians, and they're doing research with him, and he has started that while he was a co-chair young physician in APNA.
Simple answer is that this side of the APNA, the professional APNA, has been long neglected. And I think now is the time, and wherever I'm going, traveling during this time, there's so much an outcry from the very, very intelligent, smart physicians that when APNA will come out of its shell of just being a social club and become a real professional organization we are all expected to be, when it's going to happen. So I think this is a time when we have to turn our energies and come one step forward. Yes, we are a social club. Yes, we are. We believe in social networking. Yes, that's a great idea. We're all together here under this roof, and we meet so many beautiful people around us because of Apna. It's a great job Apna has done in the networking, and we really acknowledge and appreciate that. But now, time has come when we should make it a real professional organization.
In particular to whether you start meeting, whether it should be with the religious connotation. So what is your opinion about that?
If we start talking about the religion, and then we will be talking about the sects. There will be Shia, there will be Sunni, there will be Aga Khani, there will be Ahmadi, and non-Muslim, Christian, and all those kind of divides. We certainly don't want to see those kind of divides among us fold. Yes, everybody has his own religion, everybody has his own belief, and they feel free to practice, and they are within the organization. If they want to, they come across another, let's say there's a Christian and somebody, he comes across another Christian, he's welcome to talk about his own practices and whatever he wants.
We should not be promoting one religion and other religion, but I think individually, if people want to do something, that is fine. But as an organization, I will say it's a secular. And if you are going to go do anything else, you're violating the constitution of your own organization. So it should stay a secular organization, but I just want to go back again that I think it is a physician from Pakistani descent. Majority believe on their religion. We need to be sensitive about those issues.
If an event is occurring under the name of Apna or any subsidiary of Apna, I would say that you have set a good example by not starting it with recitation of the Holy Quran. I am not in any way discouraging anyone from reciting Holy Quran in their hearts, at their home. But if we do that, and let's, for instance, just imagine for a moment that if I was sitting there and I was a Hindu Apna member, I would just feel for a moment that I'm a part of this organization where the majority has to look after my rights, and I may feel uncomfortable. There are Christians in Apna, there are Hindus in Apna, there may be atheists, agnostics, and so many other people. I'm not saying that one should become a-religious as a human being. We all have our own faiths, and some of us are spiritual but non-religious. But I think that you did the right thing, and I would hope that Apna will also take up this as something that should be done in future.
One legacy you want to leave, and one thing you want to improve about Apna. What is that going to be? So two things.
The legacy I would like to leave behind, and this is something that I've talked about at various venues where I've gone campaigning. I think that Apna needs to have its very own on-the-ground organization, meaning an institution in Pakistan. It should be a hospital, I believe, a flagship hospital, a hospital which raises the bar of how medicine is practiced in Pakistan. And it should also be an example for the other institutions in Pakistan to follow. Within that hospital, we should also have our Office of Disaster Relief and Social Welfare. So every time Jamil does not have to call 20 different people in Pakistan trying to get some support for something that may happen in Pakistan because we do not have our own people on the ground. That is the legacy I would like to leave. I think it is very doable from an organization which is $1 billion club, and certainly the resources are there. One thing that I would like to change in Apna is, I think, election reform. Going through this process, I've realized how difficult it is and how impractical it is getting in touch with the membership. But even more importantly, the violation of the ethical codes and conducts where people who are in the office currently, who are not supposed to be campaigning and electioneering and promoting people, openly, blatantly, flagrantly violating the Constitution and the bylaws of Apna.
One thing is that in previous discussion, you have to build this bridge between older and young generation and have to give a leadership role to young physicians and local graduates. That's one commitment I will make, that if I find appropriate people who are interested into the organization. American graduates, Caribbean, are young out of the training, less than 5 years. I want them to get into the leadership role, number one. Number two, what I want, I think we should collaborate as an organization to the local communities and provide this health care on ongoing basis.
When I want to leave the office of President of APNA, the legacies I want to leave behind me is two things. First, as I mentioned, if we are about 15,000 to 20,000 Pakistani physicians in this country, I would feel satisfied if I have made at least 50% of those in our members. Number two, I want to be absolutely sure when I leave, this organization is transparent and accountable.
I'm going to give you, each of you candidates, 1 minute to just have, if you want to say something beyond what we have already asked, any kind of point you want to make.
Well, I'll use this 1 minute to thank everybody. I want to thank you. I think you've done a tremendous job, because I wondered a couple of times as to what is going to be the quality of the questions and what kind and what type. And then I thought I should trust the people who are going to do this. Talha, also, I think you've done a phenomenal job. And regardless of whether I lose, win, whatever, I've enjoyed it. And so thank you very much for having me.
Again, I want to thank Talha, both the best moderators, which was my first debate, and you guys did a good job. I also want to thank both of my opponents who shared stage with me, and all of you spending Saturday afternoon. And I think you have seen us now. You have seen that what we believe. I think all three of us are probably doing with the best intention, and it will be you who will be deciding after knowing today, when the future comes, when we will be speaking with you, when the time comes that what we have done in brochure, and whatever the decision you will decide, we will abide by it, and we will respect that decision. And again, thank you so very much.
I really pay my sincere, tremendous thanks to all the moderators for asking questions in such a way, though they are very smart questions, but asked in such a way that they were not anxiety-provoking, and you were able to extract the maximum information, whatever all the candidates have to offer. And I thank everybody, thank Dogana, thank Dr. Talha and everybody in this room for putting up with us, and thank you so much, everybody.
I hope that is going to be improved by the time. So what do you think? How do you like it?
Everything went so well, so organized. You must have seen it. And the Dawites now will have a choice. Before that, we never had that. We just used to get what they want to do. Now we want to know what they want to do. So that was the difference, and I think this will continue the tradition.
Well, first of all, we were very pleased that it went very well. We kept it very civilized, and candidates were given a chance to actually project on what they wanted to do. So all in all, we bring in new ideas. There's always concern that organization like ours should be transparent. So this gives them a chance to look at candidates beforehand. So it will give them a good chance to actually evaluate every single person on their own merit. So this was a good start. I think we always like to start things, and this was a beginning for a new chapter. So hopefully we will carry this on in the future.
I think it was wonderful. Everybody was good. And the purpose of the debate is to get the thought process of the people who are aspiring to lead the organization. And I think we did a good job, and the questions were appropriate, and all candidates come along very good. So now it's on membership that whom they think is the best.
I think it's a unique day today that is for the first time there is a presidential debate, and I think it was I think we made a good effort in getting out most of the questions that people have in mind. And hopefully it'll be a wiser election this year, and people will be able to give a better vote and pick up a better candidate.
The idea of the debate was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the questions were very, very pointed and pretty much covered a very broad base of subjects. I think we definitely should continue it, and the credit goes to Dogana for thinking about it and for doing it, certainly.
I think this was a great debate, and I give a lot of credit to the host, Dr. Talha, and all the three moderators. They asked very intelligent questions in a way it was not anxiety provoking, and also were not asked as it would create a confrontation between different candidates. So that was a great job done by them.
I think this was the first ever debate in Apna history. It was a good initiative. It is done very professionally and very well. The questions were very valid, and it was a very neutral atmosphere. And I think I liked it. And if somebody, other alumni or chapter can match something like that or make it better, I think that is probably something we need to explore in future.
Dogana did a tremendous job taking the lead in this political process with Apna. We invited all the three presidential candidates, and we gave a chance to general audience and Dogana members to listen to them firsthand and get to know them. And I think it was an excellent job. Moderators did an excellent job. The candidates were good, and audience were very civil, and I'm glad that this was an excellent show.
No question, Dow has always been a trendsetter, and once again they did this. They started this trend, and thanks to all the moderators, they did a wonderful job, and we got the information at how the candidates are. Now the membership will be in a better position to choose among all three of the presidential candidates.
Debate was very good. I think this was a very new thing for Apna and for the Pakistani physicians of any alumni. Okay, we had the opportunity to hear firsthand from the candidates, and we could question them. And I think that this gave a very good opportunity for people to assess and decide about their vote.
Who won the?
I cannot say that because it's a difficult thing. All three were very good, and they knew the answers, and I think none of them, you can say that none of them fell for any problem. They all did very well.
I think Dogana did a great job. I think somebody have to do it. And I think you should give a credit to Dogana.
Well, number one, I think it's important to have debates like this so people get to see things. But I think it also makes me realize that listening to the answers, that there is a need to develop our leaders within Apna to a much higher degree. The challenge right now is that they are perhaps not ready to capture what this position requires and what Apna needs in terms of leadership. The only way that will happen is if there's concerted efforts to develop the skills that are necessary, that come from experience, that come from training, so they can effectively lead the organization into the 21st century.
Great debate, and we should participate and see how these candidates are going to do in the future. There are a lot of good topics, but I wanted to have some solution in the future for them.
The debate was very informative. It was very educational, and I'm glad that they're finally taking steps to change it.
I think it was a very healthy, and I think it's an excellent tradition by Dogana that people should talk on issues, and we should have all the three presidential people giving their views on. And I think they all did a great job.
This tradition should continue, and all the candidates were awesome. Of course, I have my personal likes and dislikes.
American Muslim Women's Empowerment Council invites you to their second American Muslim Women Conference on Sunday, April 29 at 10 a.m. at Knott's Berry Farm Hotel. Attend this very informative session with your friends and family. Please register today at amwec.com. All registered attendees will be provided a complimentary lunch. Parking is free.
My name is Nikhat Kardar. After the huge success of First American Muslim Women Conference, we invite you to join our second conference on April the 29th at Knott's Berry Farm Hotel.
Hi, my name is Faryal Khan. The purpose of the American Muslim Women's Empowerment Conference is to educate women of our faith in community relations and interfaith dialogue. It is very important that we correct the current misconceptions about Muslim women in America today. For this, we must participate in civic affairs and integrate in the communities that we live in. We aim to accomplish these objectives by providing an education and supporting these females through the American Muslim Women's Empowerment Conference. We look forward to seeing you there.
My name is Nobia Kibria, and I feel that American Muslim Women Empowerment Council has the potential and ability to impact a lot of women in a positive and productive manner, since it targets the key issues that women are facing today. Please join us to meet the several great speakers from different walks of life who are willing to share their experiences and strengths with you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shaheen Awan. I am honored to be part of American Muslim Women Empowerment Council. For the first time, this year we will have a breakout session. Topics include women health, family issues, finance, and many other issues of concerns. Also, many merchants are displaying their products for your shopping convenience. Fashion show with newest trends. Hope to see you all there.
Hello, my name is Zora Patel, and I'm proud to be a member of American Muslim Women Empowerment Council. Muslim American women today are exhibiting tremendous leadership in the community. Women are not only uplifting civil, economic, and social life, they are also raising children who are to become productive members of our society and are the future. I am very confident that this conference will empower more women to come forward and fully participate in communities and nation. Thank you, and I look forward to see you all there.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Fatma Khan. I'm very excited to be part of American Muslim Women Empowerment Council. We encourage all of you to attend this year's conference, which is very informative. Please register at amwec.com. All registered attendees will be given a complimentary lunch. The hotel is located in the heart of Buena Park off 91 and 5 freeway. Parking is free. Thank you.
We hope to see you all there.
नाज़रीन, तो आप देख रहे थे प्रेसिडेंशियल डिबेट। मुझे उम्मीद है कि आज अपना के तमाम मेंबरान को अंदाज़ा हो गया होगा कि कौन सा कैंडिडेट कहाँ खड़ा है, उसके क्या ख्यालात हैं, उसके क्या मंसूबे हैं, उसकी क्या सोच है, उसकी क्या फिगर है, उसका क्या लुक है, उसकी क्या डिलीवरी है। ये आपको फैसला करना है। हमारा काम है मीडिया का कि हम आपको एजुकेट करें, अवेयरनेस पैदा करें। फैसला आपका है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि अपना जैसे काम अच्छे करती रही है, आइंदा भी करती रहेगी और तरक्की की राह पे गामजन रहेगी। मुझे उम्मीद है कि प्रेसिडेंट साइमा ज़फ़र जो बहुत ही इंटेलिजेंट, बड़ी आर्टिकुलेट हैं और माशाल्लाह अच्छे काम कर चुकी हैं माजी में, और मुझे उम्मीद है कि वो इस बार पूरे अपना को यूनिटी से, प्यार से, मोहब्बत से साथ लेके चलेंगी ताकि उनकी लीडरशिप में एक फ्लॉलेस प्रोग्राम जो है वो हो सके। नाज़रीन, इसके साथ ही आपका मेज़बान वक़ील ख़ान आपसे इजाज़त चाहेगा और इजाज़त जाने से पहले मैं आपको खुदा हाफिज़ कहूँगा, क्योंकि मेरा फॉरेन ट्रिप है, मेरा एक ट्रैवल है, आई एम गोइंग आउट ऑफ कंट्री। हो सकता है कि आपसे मुलाकात ना हो 2 वीक, लेकिन हमारे प्रोग्राम जारी और सारी रहेंगे। खुदा हाफिज़। पाकिस्तान पाइंदाबाद।